Hi, I'm Mike Ferraro. I've been in the wakeboard industry since the beginning. I've worked with a lot of up-and-coming riders, a lot of pro riders, and I'm really excited about the District Series for its user-friendly rideability, easy to get used to. You don't have to have a set riding style to ride it. Really works well on cable park.
Hey, I'm Hayley Smith. I'm from Australia. I've been riding for about 10 years now, riding all over the world and just living the endless summer, which is awesome. One of the things that I look for in a board is something that's going to hold its edge right from the start of your initiating your turn into the wake and all the way up throughout the wake. Something that's going to provide me with enough drive and momentum to finish off a lot of my rally tricks. That it's probably my strongest area in my riding.
One thing that we were really looking for was how can we come up with a board that will work for new riders and also work for a pro rider? How can we come up with a board that's going to work at slow speeds, that's going to work at fast speeds? Also, how can we come up with a board that's going to work with a small wake and also a big wake? That was a lot of the fun things that we played with, and it took us some time to really come up with that blend that worked for all of those different needs. What are some of the really fun things with a three-stage rocker? A lot of people like how the board pushes up into you.
I really like a three-stage. You know, you can take a really nice mellow cut into the wake on tricks like spins. You can get a really abrupt pop straight up, giving you enough time to grab and poke and stall out your spins.
How could we take that to the next level? What we wanted to do was we wanted still that abrupt pop, but we wanted to add a little float to it. So what we did was we played around with how we shaped the three-stage in relation to the rider's stance, and then also how width came into play with mellowing out the abrupt pop so you get more of a floaty abrupt pop. We really liked continuous rockers, and so what we wanted to do was we wanted to incorporate continuous into this bottom rocker.
So I really like a continuous rocker that's going to give me, enough speed throughout my whole trick, through the edge, through the wake, and on my landings, so I can, do some big rally tricks, which is my strongest point. And keeping those landings really soft throughout the board and taking a lot of pressure off my knees and my body, which is really important.
So what we did was we blended outside of the three-stage, which is in the center, we blended continuous so the board could carry speed through the wake and also through the landings for a softer landing. We added for stability traction channels, and we have 6 of them. We have 2 in the center, and then we have 2 in the tip and 2 in the tail. And what these traction channels do is they give you stability when you're pushing off the wake, but also if you land a little tail heavy, you still get a little more stable feel. In the tip and the tail, the traction channels are out wider. What we did was we used a lot of high-speed video, and we watched when the board was landing, and the board will land more tipped over to the side on the tip and tail. Where in the center of the board, as the board comes down, it comes out a little bit more flatter, and so we run them a little bit narrower. So what we found is just a more stable ride. The bevel in the center of the board tapers down into a really sharp bevel. And what we played a lot with was where that blend happened. So we go from that rounded radius bevel into a real sharp bevel, but we blended it right at your feet. And so what we found is it really gave it a super clean edge.
Got a nice progressive feel from your turns, from edge to edge, nice and controlled and really smooth, so you can set your edge properly to come into the wake. This is the only board in the women's line that's really specifically designed for cable. With the sintered base, it glides really nicely through the water, and especially on the rails, on your kickers and your rails, it's smooth and it doesn't grab. Being about half the size of most of the guys out there, I don't really use my board to its full potential and getting the pressure I need to get a perfect snap off the wake. So we've come up with a different flex pattern that's going to allow me to actually feel the board a little bit more, and also it's going to land a little bit nicer as well to really get my whole feel. So in this board you have durability and speed all in one. I'm Hayley Smith, and this is the Quarter to Midnight, also known as the 23:45 hours.